Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have the EZA here for LR Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta. They seem like a very exceptional character. Definitely very excited to get them. Interesting how they've decided to kind of like formulate this celebration, by the way. Right, like we have all of these Tournament of Power characters that were kind of like, you know, waiting in the wings to get their EZA. So a lot of us are thinking like, oh, like we're gonna get like some crazy Tournament of Power celebration, and then actually they're just like, well, it's a Dragon Ball Super celebration, and that's where we're tossing them all out. So like we have all these Tournament of Power big time character EZAs just kind of like coming in, right? Now remember, this is an LR EZA, which is very good because that means it's only 10 stages, which I mean, I could speak for everybody that exists when I say like we prefer the 10 stage variant compared to the 30 stage one. So that is good. I also do like that there's not a title for Get to Stage 77. I mean, I would enjoy grinding up EZA stages. It's probably what I'm gonna do once I'm done link leveling. I know that probably sounds like an insane concept as well once I'm done link leveling, but I'm actually normal of course. I'm actually pretty close to being able to being done link leveling, as in like my entire box link level 10. I'm getting close, real close. I don't have a lot of box space left, and I don't have a lot of characters to link level until I'm done with box space. Probably a few more months of link leveling, and then we are going to be done. Yeah, crazy to think about. Damn, my life, what is my life gonna come to? I mean, we're talking years now, literally years of me link leveling all day, every day. I wake up, and it's like, you know, like maybe like I'll pee, I'll get a drink, we'll, you know, do some stuff, you know, and then it's like, oh, actually, we're gonna turn this phone on, and we're gonna grind stages all day long, and we're not gonna stop ever. We're just grinding stages forever. Link leveling. So not being able to do that anymore is going to be real tough. And that's where I'll probably jump into the EZA stage grinding. I really wish that when they did the power level revamp, they gave us a way to grind power level besides link leveling. Maybe I'm biased for now wanting that just because I'm about to finish link leveling. But it sure would be nice if, like, you know, you could grind. So, like, I see a lot of people get to stage 999 in EZAs and stuff like that. And again, that's probably what I'm gonna grind afterwards. I think that there should be a reward for that. But, I mean, I've been saying this, right? I think that maybe giving points for every single EZA stage completed could be good. You know, maybe like 30 points per EZA stage done at all, I think could be pretty fun. I also think you could just get points in general for doing any single stage at all. I think that link leveling itself would become much more fun for a lot of people if it wasn't just, you know, grinding quest mode over and over and over for link levels. And I think it seems like most people feel that way. I mean, you have obviously some crazies like me who do it all day, every day, but yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see which EZAs I'll start grinding again. Probably a few months to go. I haven't really talked about it much, but this is going to be a super easy EZA also, by the way. The category, remember, for an LR EZA, the category will give us extra defense, right? The ability to take hits. The category for that is Realm of Gods. And then, remember, in order to actually penetrate the boss's damage reduction, we just have to have the legendary power link activated. So what we're rocking here, obviously, is a full LR Realm of Gods team. We're getting to the point where most categories that they could put as either a... most categories that they could do for either an LR EZA or a normal EZA, you know, we now have strong enough characters. You know, there's now enough LRs leaking into every single category that none of these are really that tough. I mean, remember back in the day, it used to be quite different, right? Because you would have categories that were just so limited, and that doesn't really exist as much anymore, right? Because especially you know, they've added a million categories, but then there's characters like, you know, think of like Orange Piccolo or Beast Gohan. Just the amount of categories they have, you know, all these kind of like weaker category teams, stuff like that. It was 2021 where Dokkan, they just went on a run. Let me pull up the list. But in 2021, Dokkan just went on a run of dropping like shitty categories. And then they really slowed down in adding new categories with the 7th anniversary, right, in 2022. They've barely added new categories since. But the 2021 run of categories, right? So you start with Final Trump Card, which is a great team. But then we get to Exploding Rage, which used to be really bad. Now it's much better. Revenge. I don't like a lot of the way they built the Revenge team, right, where it needs to be like, typically it seems like characters are on Revenge if they actually like fight a character and lose and then come back. That's usually what gets characters on Revenge, because it's like, again, like Cooler, his whole point was to get revenge for Frieza, but because Cooler shows up and he hadn't lost before, they just don't put him on Revenge, as stupid dumbassery as it is. But they do have Metal Cooler on the Revenge category, because obviously that's, you know, Cooler has already lost, and then he comes back as Metal Cooler, right? Like, I get it, but I still think it's stupid as hell, right? Like yeah, I get it, but it's dumb as hell. Then Team Bardock, a really shitty category. Again, the point is, with these categories, is these are a lot of small, niche, shitty categories, or categories that just don't have characters on it that should be there. Now, both Legends and Dokkan does omit, like, you know, Super Saiyan Bardocks and stuff like that, right? And it's the same thing here in Dokkan. All the Super Saiyan versions of Bardock are not on the category, which is stupid. Then Inhuman Deeds has never even gotten a leader. It could be a good team, but it's never even gotten a real leader. Earthling is just a good category, no issues there. And then, like, you know, Special Pose, Majin Power, Rapid Growth, All Out Struggle, Universe 11, Savior. I mean, just like crappy category after crap. Like, this is like every release in 2021. Then you get to Battle of Wits, which eventually does become a great category, and is also an easy category for them to give to characters that might not have had a ton of other categories. That's not really so bad. Power Absorption makes sense. Grade 8 Power makes sense. Crossover is fine. Space Traveling Warriors is another team that makes sense. And then they ended the year with Connected Hope and Crota Body and Mind. Crota Body and Mind is one of the worst teams in the game for sure. Connected Hope, though, has since become pretty good because, again, that's where, like, Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo come in, where they end up on, like, every single category, right? Just like the way the superhero movie went. And then, of course, all the Spirit Bomb characters are on Connected Hope. So, you know, we've had so many Spirit Bomb characters come out. You know, the future Gohans are on Connected. So, Connected Hope, if you look at the roster now, it's very good. But obviously, it, you know, wasn't back then. But, you know, nowadays, right, they barely release categories. Like let me take a look at it. So, we got Super Bosses. Then the last category that came out was, what, about 4 months before, Tournament Participants. And then there was Power of Wishes, which was the anniversary. So 2 categories came out in 2023. Power of Wishes and Tournament Participants. I would consider both good categories. Super Bosses is a category that makes a ton of sense. I would consider that a good category. Even if I don't really like the roster or something like that, it's not one of these stupid categories up for interpretation, right? Like, it's pretty obvious what it is. And then 2022 is probably the best category year, because we go from Power Beyond Super Saiyan, makes a ton of sense, is good. The Fuse Fighter team makes a ton of sense, is good. Saiyan Saga, same thing. Pretty basic, pretty obvious. Bond and Parent Child, one of the best categories. Superheroes and Earthbred Fighters. So it's like, you just look at the last, basically 10 categories are good. Because then even the last category of 2021 was Battle of Fate, which obviously is super good, right? Wait, a lot of the categories, I might have missaid it, but a lot of those categories I was complaining about, that was 2020. That was the year, yeah, whoops. Yeah, 2020 was the year of the shitty categories. Anyway, we're done. So Blue Kaioken, Evolution Blue Vegeta, I'll go ahead and get them EZ8. And we'll jump in and take a look at them. Again, they seem to have a very powerful EZA. probably pretty fair to say that they're very likely like a top 10 overall unit in the game. I know it seems crazy, but they are quite explosive, quite good. So I do like this. Dokkan being like, what if we just made these EZAs like insanely busted? I think UI Sign Goku is great. Broly, Chila, and Lemo are awesome. Now this character as well. Making these EZAs just super busted. One reason is LR EZAs have really turned the corner. And like every LR EZA is super good. Right, like 16, 17, 18 were really good. I really like LR Rose. He's obviously not in the level of these other ones, but I still like what they did with LR Rose. So, you know, Dokkan, LR EZAs, man, they're pretty fire. They've been fire for quite a while.